Hello everybody, it's me Nate aka Devil Dog, and I'm back for my epic Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition rant. That's right. Now you're probably like, but Nate, you said this was worthy of a purchase, and I stand by that for my non-biased review. Now keep in mind, when I do a non-biased review, I play the games and realize if I have fun with them or not, and they're still decent playing games even though they have these faults. But these faults, for the fact that Rockstar outsourced the work to another company to make these quote definitive editions, needs to be pointed out of the certain flaws that are in these three games that just piss me off. Now keep in mind, if you're sensitive to foul language and foul thoughts, you're probably going to get a little upset with this particular rant. Now I have a huge list of stuff written down that I've experienced in these three titles that I got to rant about to let you people know what you're getting into when you're paying $60 for this half-baked garbage games. Now first up is the Unplayable PC version. Currently, I don't know now when this video is going to be released, so at the particular time of the launch of this video, it might not be that way, but currently the PC version is unplayable and not currently up even on the Rockstar network in order to play it. So it's been pulled down because it's unplayable. Apparently it's some glitchy loop involving the music, but that's not the point. That's beside the friggin' point. That's beside the fucking point of this particular game. You have a company that makes these games and is supposed to be able to be released and to show off for the anniversary of the Grand Theft Auto series of games, and you botch it on your own website, on your own Rockstar website. It's botched. Now that's the first thing. Second of all is the development team that made these are well known for doing the remakes and remasters of previous Grand Theft Auto games, so they have experience in this. But these cheeky bastards decided to leave different words in their coding. You can go in and, I can't do it because I don't have a PC, but people went in and they've hacked the game code, and they've realized that the development team has left all kinds of shit in there saying like, this game fucking sucks, this shit don't work, and stuff like that. Now that right there says something when the development team making these games has the nerve to say that. Now the third one is the missing music. It's a total of 30 tracks, I think 17 on one and like 14 on the other, something like that, of the missing music tracks that, due to litigation involving the copyrights of these games, that are no longer in the game. Now first of all, the main problem I have with is with Rockstar on this. Rockstar currently makes well over $1 billion each month on Grand Theft Auto 5, and you're telling me that your cheap ass bastards aren't able to fork over a couple extra bucks to be able to get these games music back in, to actually have the complete playlist back into these games? That's bullshit. That's just you cutting corners, being cheap asses, Rockstar. And not even besides the point, apparently all the music is still on the games. Apparently they didn't remove the music from the games. All they did was go in and they turned it off. So if you can hack the game in order to see the comment codes of the developers, apparently you can go back in and turn on all the damn music that's apparently been removed. That sounds like lawsuits pending in the future for you, Rockstar, you fucking idiots. But now that's just another thing. There's also severe bugs with textures of walls, buildings. I even talked about this with San Andreas being the worst on it, where some of the textures look like crap. Road lines don't match up. It's like you'll have a yellow line here and it cuts over to here. Trees that are floating above the ground. And Seb even agrees with me. He's running around freaking out because I'm yelling right now. Trees that are floating above the ground that aren't even connected into the ground. And it's almost like people have noticed. Yeah, I agree, Seb. It's almost like the people noticed with this version that it has certain glitches that came straight from the mobile version of Grand Theft Auto. That's right. There's certain glitches like falling in the water and stuff like that that are glitches not from the normal console versions, but from the mobile versions. It's almost like they took the mobile versions and went and modified them or something. It's weird. Now, next up on my rant is the draw distance issues. Now, you're like, but Nathan, they increased it so much. They increased it too much. There is a limit. Like on the smaller games like Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, you're not supposed to see the whole world. You're not supposed to because they're too small. And they made it to where visually you can see everything. Now that's terrible. You can see it and see stuff you're not supposed to see. That's why in other games they add like a slight fog in the distance that makes it to where you can't see everything. This, they did the exact opposite and you can see everything. And while that is a minor nitpick, it still shows the fact that they cut corners with this version. Now the Nintendo Switch version, out of all the versions, currently has massive stuttering, can't even reach 20 frames a second, and that's on performance mode. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I know the Nintendo Switch isn't a powerhouse system out there like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox Series 1 and X and you know, the PS5, but that's besides the point, people. These games are so damn old. There's no excuse they can't get it to run smooth on a Nintendo Switch, and yet they still fucking can't. Now, on top of that, now this is a personal issue with me. Now, Grand Theft Auto is not really known for its class and its respectability. Grand Theft Auto series is known for being violent, verbal, having characters that are morbidly bad, you know, just racist characters, asshole characters, and stuff like that. And they decided that they wanted to change the textures on certain characters. Like Phil Cassidy used to have a Confederate flag on his t-shirt. Now, while yes, I understand times have changed, and a Confederate flag does have a significantly different meaning to a lot of people nowadays, even though all you have to do is go back and look in history and you can see what the true meaning of it is, but that's besides the point. The problem I have with it is removing the Confederate flag from Phil Cassidy's shirt when even though his character is still a well-known racist asshole. That makes no sense to me. In a game where you can get a blowjob from a hooker and then run her ass over and kill her and get your money back, that's perfectly fine, but don't have a Confederate flag on a guy's shirt. That's just wrong. That's stupid. Now, the next thing is rain. You think, how could they fuck up rain in these games? Well, they found a way, because it's most prominently the worst in Grand Theft Auto 3 and also San Andreas. Vice Cities isn't that bad, but when you're driving through rain, you want to have it to where you can see through the rain. Nope, not in these games, because you know what? It's milk. It's fucking raining milk. It's fucking raining milk. You look at it, it looks like milk. It's heavy, it's white, and you can't see through it. It's milk, and God forbid you go into a building because it's raining inside the buildings too. You know what? These are all minor nitpicks. But when you're paying $60 for a remastered version, the whole point of remastering it is to go in and touch up everything and make it look better, not worse. How can you say that the Grand Theft Auto 3 original version's rain is better than the remasters? At least the original rain, it looked foggy and tacky, but it didn't look like fucking milk coming from the sky. That's just utter madness. I mean, seriously. Now, the other thing that it just boggles my mind, and I figured out why it does this, is there's totally different character models. Now, if you go into like San Andreas, there's a barber, an old barber, and it used to look just like Morgan Freeman. Well, now he looks like a totally different character. And that's not the only case. With these big bug-eyed, dead stare characters that they've made, they went back and they've changed a lot of the facial features of these characters to where they're completely different fucking characters. It's not a remaster if you're doing that. You're doing like modifications to them, and a lot of them look like fucking abominations. Like what they did with Candy Sucks, and there's like a mission where you do with these women that are shooting in bras and everything. Their proportions are so fucked up and so messed up, and like Ryder, and I even showed this in my review of these games. I had to point it out, at least on Ryder. It's like he's got like 15 bones in his arms, because what they did is they went in and they added polygons to the characters so they can make them to where they could build better facial features, give them working eyes and working mouths and fingers. That's great, but what they didn't do is they didn't go in and change the skeletal structure of the polygonal characters. So all the animations are based off of the original polygon models, which were significantly way less polygons. Well, when you slap new polygons on top of an old model, when they animate and move, they make these abominations. These character models that are just so out of proportion and messed up with long stretched necks and just messed up body parts. It's something that is fucking stupid, and I can't believe that they did that. And you know what? They can say, oh, well, the game's half-baked. You ain't fixing that shit. unless you change the skeletal structure of each character model. Slapping on polygons ain't going to change how, abomination that you made them into. Seriously, it's just bad. And now here's the main thing a lot of people had a problem with, even before this game launched, was the cartoony graphics. Now, here's the thing. Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City, the cartoony graphics kind of work. It was never photorealistic until it got into Part 4 anyhow, and so I didn't really have a problem with that, though in San Andreas, it just leads to a lot of issues with the way the characters look and everything like that. I don't really think this is too much of an issue, but it still pisses me off that they decided to go with this cartoon graphics aesthetic. Thank God they didn't do cel-shaded. Can you imagine that? Oh my God, that would have just been messed up. Now, keep in mind, all three of these remasters, of this remastered collection, were outsourced to a company called Grove Street that is in Florida. Now, they have been known to do other ports of previous Grand Theft Auto games, and that's why I have a problem with this group. They have experience working with the code and working with Grand Theft Auto in the past. So what the fuck happened here? It's almost like either they didn't know what the hell they were doing with the new Unreal Engine they used to remake these games, or the fact that Rockstar was pushing them to get this product out, because it's just messed up from day one. Now, the next thing is the restart mission. Everyone touted this, and I touted it too for a point. The restart mission is a decent addition, but it's done so fucking poorly, it's pretty much virtually worthless. Everybody knows these games have multi-part missions, okay? Like 4, 5, and 6 part of one mission. Well, that's great and fine and dandy. Now, you have a restart mission. Well, that's great. Let's just say it's a 5-part mission and you get through 4 of the 5 parts before you die. Well, that's fine and dandy, right? So it's going to start you at part 4 out of 5? Nope, it starts you right back at the beginning of the entire start of the mission. The only thing it cuts out is the fact that you don't have to drive back to the location where the mission starts. That's fucking stupid and pointless. It doesn't help much at all. It cuts out a little bit of drive time, and that's about the only thing the restart mission does. Now, while some spots in these games do look and play a lot better, like Vice City does, most of it other looks like a hack job, like a rushed hack job. San Andreas by far is the worst out of the 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 looks the best because the increased resolution and textures and polygonal models worked for it. Vice City plays the best out of the 3, even though they still have lots of glitches that they're supposed to have patches to fix, but hands down, it looks like a rushed hack job. All 3 games do. And that's on top of the fact that everybody was worried about the mods, the cheat codes that work with it, and how there are certain cheat codes that apparently break the game permanently. And that's why they're working on a patch, a hot date, a hot fix, an update coming in the future to fix these issues so you people can play with all your cheats. Because apparently this game engine that they switched it to, Unreal, can't handle those bastard super powerful cheats. Bullshit. It's because y'all didn't take the time to get them to work to where the games didn't break. You can fix it if you knew how to code a game right. I'm sorry. In the end, the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remastered Ultimate Super Uber Spectacular Edition is a half-baked, half-ass rush job that Rockstar even made sure to have an embargo out on it so people couldn't tell you about this until after it was released, because they knew it was a half-baked rush job, and they did the same shit that every other multi-billion-dollar corporation did. They're like, we'll fix it with patches in the past. As long as we get their money, we can go back later and fix it. And you know what? For that, Rockstar, you fucking suck. You piss me off. It's going to be another 15 years before you come out with another Grand Theft Auto. You got greedy. You're making so much bank off of Grand Theft Auto Online. Now you've gotten greedy and you've turned to the dark side of EA to where you're going to just take your sweet ass time and keep coming back out with remasters and DLC and all this other shit instead of just making a new game. You know what? Don't get me wrong. I realize it takes thousands of people to make your open world games due to the sheer size and all the components that are in it. But in this particular case of you handing it off to Grove Street, you obviously rushed them. You obviously pushed their buttons. You obviously made them slap together a half-ass rush job of a trilogy, and it shows in all the faults of this game. Please leave in the comments of what you think about this total 15-minute rant I just did about the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. It's almost as long as the damn game review I did. And honestly, in the end, my blood pressure is rising, I'm pissed off even more, and I can say, even though I still enjoy playing these games, it's actually better to go back and just play the original ones at this point. Seriously, the amount of fuck-ups they did in this is just so messed up. It far surpasses the fun factor. And I can still recommend that you get it. I really can. I really can if you've never played, because you got to think about it. What if this is a person that's never played the original versions, and this is the versions they get? This is blasphemy. Going from that to this, and then people are going to be like, I don't understand why Grand Theft Auto got so popular. With these versions, I can see why. Play the original ones if you have a chance. But honestly, it's still worth playing because they did improve upon the control, the driving mechanics, and visually in a lot of parts it is better, even though a lot of other parts, you can tell it's just a half-baked, rush, bullshit cash grab. And in the end, that's what I feel about Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy Ultimate Uber Collection version. Leave in the comments below what you think, if you agree or disagree with me. If there's other points that you want to point out that I missed or things you think I got wrong. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this rant. Make sure to leave lots of comments below. I'll answer each and every single one of them. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is always in the details. Peace out until next time.